Have you ever seen life insurance work this way? My name is Terrence Thomas, and today I want to share with you three basic concepts that you can actually use life insurance as an asset opposed to just a simple death benefit. Now, this first illustration, shows a typical setup where you have a typical 35-year-old male. He puts $10,000 a year towards a policy that makes sure that if anything happens to him, his children are taken care of, they can finish school, the house is paid off, the wife is covered, and there's no stress, and it covers, the lost income, etc., etc. This is considered a responsible way of covering yourself when it comes to having a family. Nothing wrong with this. It's very noble and admirable. Even down to the point to where what other investment that where you can put in $30,000 and 3 years later something happens to you and your family gets $1 million death benefit. Where else does that happen? So in this situation here, the only way you're going to be able to find that type of circumstance is in life insurance. So this UL Index Universal Life is set up to where this person is paying for $1 million worth of life insurance. They stop paying for it at the age of 60. And as you can see, it continues to grow into his 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, and beyond. And if he wanted to borrow from this, he would be able to access this money without depleting his principal. In addition to that, you see that the death benefit has increased from $1 million to over $1 million through this process. So this process is a very good setup. The only difference is, as you can see, the first 3 years, you don't have any cash value. Now, this is just one way of setting up the asset for you to get, growth potential and, have a nice little vehicle to save your money. But here's another alternative for you, just in case you didn't know. The concept the same age can use is to purchase the lowest amount of life insurance that the law will allow to get the maximum amount of cash value. So as you can see here, instead of purchasing $1 million, you could purchase $250,000, get you a term policy. Since you're young, it won't be that much for the balance for the next 30, 35 years. And to offset that, or just add another $1 million on there just in case something happens while this is continuing to develop, because this is a long-term savings plan that you can use for anything. Anything that you need to or you want to save money for, this is the best vehicle to use, because you don't have to worry about your principal ever being tied to any type of volatility, inflation, or taxes. So this means that you can grow as much money in here as you would like to grow tax-free. In addition to that, you are growing your death benefit that comes along with it. So there's no other asset on the planet that allows you to grow your principal and death benefit at the same time. So you see where this vehicle right here just supersedes any other asset out there. And it also explains why the banks are using this. And this is an example of how the banks are using it, because this is just an example. They got trillions of dollars tied up in here. So they dump, your money that you give them into a life insurance contract where it grows tax-free. If there's a run on the banks, they have this savings account that they can tap into to take care of the FDIC. If it's over $250,000, then okay, well, you're just SOL. But they will satisfy $250,000 and be able to pay themselves back once the economy picks back up, and then put that money back in here and continue letting it grow. And corporations and thousands of banks are using these things for cash accumulation, and they're using these things for their key employees. If they have a employee that's valuable to the company, you could take out an insurance policy on that employee. Something happens to them, that death benefit pays the company back, and it keeps the company going. So there's plenty of uses for this asset. It's just that you just have to know how to use them for your benefit. This is how the banks use them. I've shown you how you can use it as an individual, and then you have the typical way. So if you'd like to learn more, find out more about how this asset works, please feel free to reach out to me. I got you.